Hi everyone. Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. Today's Sunday. So Sunday. Yay. I've been getting some sewing done today. Surprisingly. See, I knew that was going to be on. Anyway, let's see who's here since the room already has people in it today. We got Teresa and Judy and Vicky and Ellen and Marla and Angela and Ginny. So Ginny or Ginny?
I would say Jenny, yes.
That would be Ginny.
Yeah.
Have to be. And Jim and June. Angela just got home from having belated Mother's Day dinner at Daughters and I'm stuff. Ooh. And let's see, we got Heather here, Ben here, Kathleen, Darlene. Marla says this is a jammy and day for her sewing also. We got Zella here, we got Kim here, and June, and Shirley. And get to that in 2 seconds. Joe is here, Rowena is here, Nita is here, Suburban is here, Deborah is here, Shelly is here, Bernie is here, Paula, Joy. Wow, it's going and going and going. So I'm good today, since that was asked. I was tired earlier because I didn't sleep last night. And then when I finally did fall asleep, I woke up sweaty hot. And then when I wake up in the middle of the night, I don't turn lights on. I walk everywhere in the dark. You know, to the bathroom or wherever I need to go, in the dark. Well, this morning, I woke up sweaty hot and it was like 70 degrees outside, so I went outside, enjoyed some fresh air, came back in to go back to bed, and I stepped in my cat's vomit on the floor. So obviously I had to turn all the lights on at like, I don't even think it was 5 o'clock this morning all the way, and clean his mess up, and then I couldn't go to sleep. So I just stayed up today. I tried to do some long arm quilting, but that didn't work because my wrist hurts. And then I bound 2 small wall hangings today, and then made binding for this quilt, which I'm going to do while on here. And yeah, I'm just tired. I did take a nap. That's all I did. A small nap, and now I have nothing else better to do today but sew the rest of the day. So I'm good. Alright, where were we? Barbara is here, Alma is here, JK
I just said JK.
JK is here. So hello everyone. Been there, done that. It wakes you up real fast. And yeah, and you know the weird thing is we put daylight bulbs in almost every single light in this house now, because we film in all the rooms pretty much now. So we have daylight bulbs. So every time I turn something on, it's, especially in the night, it's like, ding, I'm awake. I'm awake now. I'm awake. It's kind of funny. So is the cat who's digging at client bags, like always.
See.
I don't know what it is about the bags that my clients bring their quilts in, but this cat is obsessed with them, like seriously.
They can't see them.
Nope, he's walking away.
I'm not going to move it.
That's a way to start the day. Sorry that happened, yay. For the way it turned around, sewing time, yes. Darlene loves daylight bulbs. So do I. Now that we have them in the house, it's like we can see everything in true color. It's the weirdest thing. Before, it was like we were living in some kind of dull darkness, or yellow darkness, because most light bulbs have like a yellow tint, and it was kind of weird. And now they don't, and I'm like, wow, I could actually see. So it's good. Daylight bulbs keep everything nice. Barbara is cutting out papers for English paper piecing project. Suburban doesn't bother me. You got some background noise. Yes, I have a fan on today for those that are curious, because I'm going to be binding a quilt, and this is a king size, so it's going to be on my lap. So I turned the fan on to keep myself from sweating too much, because I sweat really bad when I'm in here, when a finished quilt is on my lap, and I'm pretty sure you guys all know that even if it's cotton batting, I don't care what it is, I sweat underneath, especially because of where I live. Yeah, it's only 92 today outside, so, and it's 80 in the house, but I still sweat my little butt off underneath a quilt when I'm binding it. So I turn the fan on purposely to keep myself from having too many sweating problems. Joy, when are you going to release your wallet pattern? Well, I perfected my wallet pattern, and let's just say in a couple of days.
It's a surprise. Just say it's a surprise.
Starting Wednesday, I'm going to have some company from out of town from Wednesday to Saturday. So I'm not sure how much you guys are going to see me because I won't be able to record as much because it's my daughter's graduating high school, Maxine. So since she's having her graduation on Thursday, we have company coming from all over the place from out of town and to watch her graduate. And said company, I want said company to hang out with me. I'm not going to tell you who. So I'm hoping, and if she's out there watching, you knew who you are. I asked you. You better say yes. So that's about the wallet right there. I perfected it though. So it's good. Kathleen's having trouble with the new light bulbs. Love the brightness, but the pure heat is crazy. Ours don't really give off much heat. Surprisingly, they're pretty good. Hi Doris. Hi Mary Jane. Let's see, where were we? Doris's long arm finally came. Husband finished putting it together earlier today. Plan on working on it tomorrow. Yay! Congratulations! It's so much fun to have a long arm. Yes, congratulations to Maxine. And she probably has this turned on. It's just not talking because she watches my videos, guys. She's my only kid that turns them on. Angela, I love how you say it's only 92. We finally hit 75 in central New York today.
Yeah, well, by next month it'll be 110.
Yeah, by next month it'll always be 110. And I'll say, it's only 110 today.
Yeah. Because we get up to the 120s. So 110's still.
I have you up on the TV. I will be in the background doing machine Acoma Dresden's. All right, Marla. Marla's doing the Dresden sew along too, but she's doing the same fabrics as I am. So you can only imagine what it looks like because she's doing what I'm doing. Excuse me. But she can't post on Facebook, so.
Did you want to show them the backing fabric quick?
Oh, we got the backing fabric too, but I have a client custom quilt on, which you guys probably saw the border for. This that I quilted. This is the backing fabric we got for the Dresden. It's a maroonatang color. You like how I say that? It's maroon, but it's kind of cloudy in a way. I don't know. It's 108, and I got 4 yards of it just to be on the safe side.
Like a reddish brown brick color, right?
Yeah, it's like a brick color. Yeah, it looks perfect with the Dresden. It's perfect. Like you really see the back though, so it really doesn't matter what color I got for it. Let's see, Judy, hello. Hi, Linda. Zilla says only 69 today. Hi, Vivian. All right, thank you. Yes, it's a pretty color. All right, so I'm going to pass this over to Scotty. He's going to do the reading, and I am going to move over to the Brother machine so that I can monogram. You know, this is a huge quilt, and I'm putting a really small tag on it. Like, usually I make the tag, like, at least from like a 9-inch square, and this is from, I don't even remember now.
Hi, Robbie.
A 6.5-inch square. So, it's kind of small, but I only need to write on it, Quatrefoil by Tiffany Groff, 2021. That's all I'm writing on it. On a big quilt, because I don't have nothing else to write on it, so. And the binding is made, and it's over here on the binding wheel.
Hi, Billy.
But I do have to tell you guys, the binding wheel only holds neatly about 8 strips of binding. It definitely does not hold anything more than, because it is exploding over here on next to my thing. So if you guys have that binding wheel, which, whatever, it's over here. I can't take it off, it's hooked. But if you guys have the binding wheel, just know you cannot put more than like 8 strips on it comfortably because it just explodes off of it. Like, it makes a mess, and you can't even wrap it all the way up. So, all right, I'm gonna move to this machine, and Scott can just tip the camera.
I'll just turn it. No need to tip. We just turn it. Just a bit.
And I got
You're
some
pretty
black,
much in it.
black signature thread over here is what I'm using on this machine today. And I'm just going to write the quilt name on my tag, and I always monogram, like I put interfacing under, it's just like as if you were doing embroidery. That's what it is. So you make sure that you have some kind of interfacing. These are corner tags, that's why they look like this for those that are new to this. So all I'm going to do is type the words of what this is. And
What model brother do you have, real quick?
I have the Brother SQ9285. It's a cheapy Walmart. And I've had this now for, what, 3 years?
Oh, wow.
I've had this for like 3 years since my my PQ 1100 broke. This is what replaced it, and so far this one's still good. It's still going good. So I'm going to line this up, put it where I want, and type the words that I want. And I'm trying to center everything as best as possible. And if I have to trim it off, then so be it. It'll be even smaller. All right. Q 17. Oops. It would help if it was on letters. All
Yeah.
right, Q 17. 1. U 21. A. T. This is spelled so weird. R.
What, quatrefoil?
Yeah.
It's a cool word to say. Quatrefoil.
E. F.
Hi, Lisa.
O.
Hi, Donna.
I. 9. And L. 12. And I'm going to check that just to make sure, because 17 is 1, A 1, T 20, R 18, E 5, F 6, O 15, I is 9, and L is 12. Okay, so I'll put this on here and let it stitch out. If I can get the foot to where I need it. What is everybody working on today while I type this out?
Hi,
Or while the
Carissa.
machine types this out?
Well, so far they're talking about sewing machines and saying hi to everyone. Since we mentioned what kind of sewing machine you have.
Wow, that came out nice and dark. Just the way I want it. So I haven't trimmed away yet, but you can see, look at how dark that reads with the black on the gray. Perfect.
That is cool.
Yes, so, and after it's done, everything that I type up, then I'll go and clean up all the excess thread that gets everywhere.
Donna's working on a grocery list.
I'm gonna put, we're gonna delete all those letters now and put by.
Hi, Paula.
So BY 2 and 25. And then I just center it up because it's easy to do that.
Well, Jill's doing stitch and ditch quilting. Carissa's still doing the rainbow blocks. Suburban's working in the garden and having pain.
Aw.
Kim started on grandson's rag quilt. Mary's cutting out squares from her scrap block. Mary Jane's doing FFP button.
Oh, with the vet. Yeah.
Paula's working on a jelly roll rug.
All right. Now I'm gonna
Judy's
center
working on a makeup bag.
my name. It's gonna say Tiffany Groff, and so I need to estimate by just looking at the letters. I estimate how. I've been doing this so long now on this machine with the tag thing. I kind of am really good with this estimating thing. So I'm gonna put it about right there, and I should be able to put my name, my first name, and then a space, and then my last name. So let's delete the by part and then type my name.
Shirley's sandwiching a California King Dragon quilt for her son-in-law for Father's Day. Joe's taking apart the broken dishes quilt and replacing some of the fabric. Hi, Alma. Alma's been working on bringing home the Christmas tree quilt. She says it's so much fun.
Alright.
Yes, Kathleen's doing the Yvette and Steph project.
And all I do is like hold the fabric to keep it going straight. And then I'm just going to barely space it for my last name.
Oh, and Billy's doing laundry. Hi, Cecil. Cecil asks, what are you working on tonight, my love?
I am doing a tag and binding. And now I just accidentally added another letter. Wait, hold on, let me make sure real quick. 7, 18, 5, 15,
You need me to read them out for you, huh?
6. I have to relook again because he just messed me up. R. O. F. F. Okay.
Normally I sit and help her. I read her out the numbers. We're binding the big black and white quatrefoil quilt that you guys seen her make in the past. We're finally finishing it. It's for sale one. We're going to show it to you when it's all done here. Is there anything else you want to tell them about the quilt, honey? They asked what quilt you're binding?
It's this right here. You guys just recently saw me quilt it in a video.
Ellen's waiting to get some labels made for quilts. She wonders where she could order them.
Like what kind of labels? Like pre-made labels for quilts? I wouldn't know. I do know you can buy panels. Should I put LHCAZ?
I don't know. What does everyone else think?
Yeah,
Should
I'm
we
gonna
put
put it.
the city and state?
Yes, I'm gonna do that. Alright, L H. I'm just gonna put C.
Well, there you go. I'm sure Etsy has them. Yeah, Carissa says that her boyfriend got some on Etsy. I'm sure Etsy has them.
C. Oh, and then a comma. Comma is 42. And then space over.
Cecil said I finished the flimsy for my train wreck quilt. What does that mean? It's a flimsy.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
And if she told me before on here, then I just don't remember because I don't remember stuff.
Paula says she normally puts the month and the year on there. And Angela asked, what is your throat space on your brother?
5 inches or less?
Yeah, it's not very big.
It's very tiny.
Oh, the top of the quilt's called a flimsy. Just the quilt top.
Oh, I didn't know that. Goes to show how much I don't know.
See, you guys teach tough stuff too. It's a learning experience for everyone.
Should have known this number because it's the last number of the alphabet.
Yeah, A is the first and Z is the last.
Yep.
Our state has the first and the last.
Yeah, that looks better. Putting my... Yes.
Hi, Teresa.
Hello, hello, everybody joining in. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday. Getting some sewing done. At least I am. All
Shelley
right.
was out trimming the bushes today and a snake came out at her.
Oh my.
She says I ran and screamed like a girl, never finished.
I'm sorry. Alright. 2021. Alright. 2. This is confusing because the numbers are numbered on here. So it confuses me.
Yeah, 2 is not 2.
It's 33.
Yeah.
0, 2,
She's making binding for the quatrefoil quilt,
and
Teresa.
1. Alright.
And the tag. She's working on the tag right now.
Yes, I'm making a tag first.
Bourbon says that you have to remember that we're going to quilt, smoke, and cuss. Maybe get a tattoo that she's been wanting for 20 years.
Yeah. Alright, so now that I have monogrammed everything on here,
Get a tattoo of a sewing machine on your arm, Suburban. There you go.
there's a lady that I watch. She has a whole entire full sleeve of like bobbins and thread spools and sewing machine and what is it called? Pin cushions, the tomato pin cushion, and scissors and rotary cutters. She literally has a whole entire sleeve of all quilting related. It's
Well,
pretty crazy.
Didn't Rosie the Riveter have some sort of tattoo? The chick from the 40s that they put in all the pictures when women went to work while men were at World War II?
Yeah, I think it was just something like...
Didn't she have some sort of tattoo on her arm or something or other? So she should get a sewing machine tattoo on her arm.
Alright, so now I'm just cutting the connecting threads between all the letters, which you would have to do this either way if you were using an embroidery machine. I heard that it's a big deal because embroidery machines have even more connecting threads than these little alphabet letters. And for anybody that's curious, this machine only makes one size letter. It monograms these, and I think they're like, I measured it before, it was a little bit over a ½ inch, just barely. Or maybe it was a little under. I think it's over. We'll just call it housekeeping.
Hi, Joyce.
Doesn't take too long, but it's nice to have a nice, super sharp pair of embroidery snips, or I'm using the Karen K. Buckley, the light green ones, because they literally are so tiny they fit in here perfectly, which is amazing.
Doing that, I'll hold this up. Maybe you guys can see some of the quilting on the back of it. Since we're both in the camera.
Oh my goodness, come on. Woo-wee.
There's no edges. I don't know if you can see that.
Almost done. Almost done.
There. So a little bit on the inside.
It's just black, white, and gray. Monotone.
It's still cool looking.
Ugh.
I like it. And it's king size, right? It's huge.
Well, it kind of shrunk a little, so it's more like a queen.
Okay, so it's a large queen.
Yeah. Alright, 2 more snips. And I can show you how my tag looks. And I just like swipe away with my hand all the excess thread. And what I'm going to do before I... There, you can hold that up to the camera. I gotta move this machine out of my way now.
Okay, see that okay? I could move the machine for you, honey.
Yeah, it weighs a pound.
Okay, sorry. You're right, that one is way lighter than I ever expect every time I pick it up.
Alright, alright. Tag please, Mr. Groff.
Okay, Mrs. Groff.
Thank you. Alright. I don't really have a top or a bottom, so I'm just going to put the tag in a corner. Because it's not a directional quilt.
Guess that makes it easy, huh?
It is super heavy. This is a heavy quilt.
Do you need me to help you pick it up and move it around?
Ugh. So I'm just going to come down here to a bottom corner where you now can't see because the quilt is so darn large. See that? I'm going to put this down here at the bottom and sew this on first. Then I'll put my binding on. So I'm just going to put it nicely in the corner. I'm going to sew it on with a 1/4 inch seam. I'm also going to double back stitch on the edges because it is a corner tag, so it's lying, here's the corner, it's going from point to point here, so if anybody grabs on it or if it gets stuck under a foot, which I doubt because it's laying on top of that, but if it gets stuck on anything, at least it's stitched really, really well, holding it down. And I'm using a gray thread. Which blends quite well with, well, it's a little bit more grayer than the color I quilted this quilt with. So I'm going to make sure before I keep going that this is still nice and flat because you can see this is a pretty puffy quilt, so it's trying to like puff out. So I'm just going to keep it nice and flat. Alright, so now the tag is on there, now I could just start attaching the binding to the back and then rolling it to the front. I swear, Sew Sunday is like binding day. I should just call it Binding Sunday. That's all I ever do on Sundays, it seems.
Well,
it's
we'll
really
do something
like a
different next
catch-up.
week then.
So my binding is made from the backing fabric leftovers.
You've been doing videos of long arms for
Yeah.
past few weeks. You've been having long arm
So,
videos loaded, just not live.
The binding strips are either they're as long as the quilt or they're as wide as the quilt. I'm actually not sure which direction I cut off the scraps from, but it's one direction or the other. And so there's only 4 seams. So as long as I don't put a seam towards this corner, they shouldn't land in the corners. So I'm just going to grab me some binding and start attaching. Just anywhere, because again the seams should not end. And I'm going to attach it with a 1/4 inch seam, and it's 2.5 inch binding for anyone that's curious. Usually thick quilts like this, I do the 2.5, and then the little skinny cotton filled quilts don't. They get like 2 1/4. So I left a tail, not much of one, just a little one. And I'm just going to sew this on. So while I sew it on, we can chit chat. I'm going to change my stitch length though, because that just is kind of a tight one. It usually takes me a little bit over an hour to bind a queen size quilt, so, and this is a little bit bigger than an average queen, so it should take me about an hour, a little over an hour to do this.
How are you liking that binding wheel?
It's convenient,
Yeah?
just not for
That's cool.
this much binding on it, because there's a lot of binding on it.
Should I bring the camera over and show them the wheel?
I know how to.
Okay. Well, give me something to do. Always want to help you.
I
know
guess
what
you
mean?
can come
Stuff to
over and
help.
show them how I do the corners then.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I'm
You
coming
said
up.
then. I didn't know you were ready.
Yes.
Sorry.
For those that need a refresher on mitered corners. So you can see the binding wheel was a little bit fuller than this. So it gets stuck trying to undo it. So here's how this works. I come up to the corner. I'm coming up to the corner now, and I'm going to stop a 1/4 inch away from the corner. Like that. And then I'm going to take it, go up like this, creating a straight line between the binding and the quilt, like that. Fold it onto itself, like this. I didn't twist or anything. And then I create with my fingernail just a little crease so I can see a 1/4 inch where to put my needle down. And I turn the whole thing like this, and I put my needle down first, right in that V that we've just created, and I forward and back stitch, and then make my way down. And now I got to turn this whole entire quilt.
Do you want me to do that?
No,
Okay.
I gotta find an end.
I'll get out of the way then.
Now you can see what I was talking about needing the fan on today, guys, because I'm literally covered in huge quilts today.
It's a big one.
And I live in Arizona, so I don't need big quilt on me while making quilts. But unfortunately, I have to. Constantly adjusting, keeping my binding on the quilt. And straightening everything out as I go. I have my seam guide so that I can consistently have a 1/4 inch seam, because I am a veerer, so I veer away from everything, all seams.
I like that word, veerer.
I'm a veerer. I cannot sew a straight line for the life of me, so this hand pushes it towards the seam guide, and the seam guide keeps it from going beyond.
So that thing's a lifesaver then for you.
Yeah. And so look at, here's my first seam finally, because I think it was the width of the quilt that I cut from the leftovers. Constantly adjusting, trying not to have the quilt lift my shirt up while we're doing this because it keeps grabbing it.
No, that wouldn't be good while we're online.
What?
That wouldn't be good while we're online.
No. And there's my veerer me. I already done it.
Mary said that she just recently got the seam guide and she wished she'd gotten it years ago.
Yeah, I got it when I first started. And then after machine, now that I have 2 machines, I have a seam guide for each machine. I think I even have an extra one somewhere in case I lose my seam guide. This machine has the seam guide foot, but it does not work well with binding because it's for more like piecing because it's so tight of an area.
Linda said that is one of my favorite quilts that you have made. I have always admired it, so glad you're finishing it.
Yeah, this thing I started this one like 3 years ago, and just never. It sat in the closet waiting for backing. And then when I got this Stonehenge fabric, I definitely was like, oh yes, that's perfect for the quadrifoil.
I want an up-close picture of the foot. I don't know. Is that good enough? Is that?
It's just
getting what you need.
It's just a skinny foot, 1/4 inch foot, whatever you want to call it. Alright, coming up to another corner soon. Keep adjusting. With Scott holding the camera up, you guys should be able to see the quilting pretty good.
Hi, Brenda. Yes, you guys can see all the quilting.
Alright, so here we come to another corner. Same refresher. If you want to bring it back over here.
Hold on. Let me get this so I can read comments I'm missing.
Alright, again, all I'm going to do is stop 1/4 inch away from the edge. So come right up to it, guessing where 1/4 inch is. I back stitch, pull it away, hold it up like this so I have a nice straight line between the binding and the quilt. Fold it over onto itself, lining my fold up with the corner right here. And you can either start, some people start, I've seen this, they start coming in from the corner to 1/4 inch and then pivot. Some people just, I sometimes do it too, come in from the edge and just keep sewing. And some people, like me, when I do nice quilts, I put the needle down in that 1/4 inch little divot that I made.
Hi, June.
And then I always back stitch and then start adjusting, but I'm going to sew just a little bit before
Cecil wants to know if the foot came with the machine or if you bought it separate.
No, this one came with this machine. Alright, so now I'm going to find all of this, put this on my lap.
Rowena says, I just got the seam guide. I got tired of watching the line on the plate.
I can't do it. My eyes follow the needle or something and it like they start to shake and shiver with it. It's weird. So I can't focus properly. So the guide keeps me accurate. I'm coming up on another seam in the binding, just barely. This was my accidental cut, remember?
Oh, yeah, look at that.
So I accidentally, when I was cutting, because my hand wasn't ready to cut through layers of fabric yet, I do want to show you guys that I accidentally pushed too far over and cut the backing fabric. Can you see that? So you could see up here.
Yes.
I folded it over accidentally and cut it. So I'm making sure that it's all folded straight now because that was an accident. When my hand was healing, I shouldn't have been cutting quilts. But it'll be hidden in the binding, so only you guys out there in the world will know.
Nita says, love your nail color.
Oh, thank you. Today's a blue day. Look at, I'm using the blue thing here, my blue nails with the blue shirt and pants with blue, and then the shoes when I go outside are blue.
Your scissors, your cutters, right there, next to the scissors.
Those, yes.
The blue
oh, yeah, these are
scissors that are right next to, well, you
Today
didn't point
is
it
a
out.
blue day. Oh, I was talking about not dark blue. I was talking about more like
Oh, well,
sky
you
and
said
sea
blue.
blues. But it's
I'm
a blue
pointing
day.
out the blue. And the quilt is black and white.
Today's a blue day on a black and white quilt. so much adjusting.
You got that dumb song in my head now.
The Blue Man song?
Yes, I don't want to start singing it. It's, yes,
Yes,
you got that in my head. Goofball. Come back over here. You guys can see some more quilting.
Alright, so I'm gonna put this corner on and then just finish the rest up. Goes pretty quick. At least for me. In my million-mile-an-hour sewing.
Yes, Tiff is quick.
Come here, heavy quilt. I'm even with the fan on, I'm sweating my butt off. Can I have a cold water from the refrigerator, please?
Don't know about a cold water. I can get you one from the fridge. It might be cold. I don't know about cold. Okay, honey. Here's your cold.
Hey, thank you. Oh, I do want to say, since we chat on stuff on Sundays, the secondary project that goes with the Dresden with all the leftovers, don't fret. We will get to that soon. I have a custom quilting, like show quilting quilt job on the frame right now, so that's kind of taking up all my attention, and I was trying to have it off the frame before all our company comes in from out of town, because I didn't want to have to work while my family was here. And the next one to load is the Dresden, but while the Dresden is on, we will start working on the side projects. I don't know if it'll start Monday of next week, but it'll sometime next week we'll get started on it, because that way I can be quilting the one and making the frame one at the same time, which for you guys would be a wall hanging. Since I don't have to quilt it on the long arm, it's just going straight into a frame. Yeah, less work for me. So I'll just show you guys how to make the top pretty much.
Angela said your hair's growing fast.
What?
Angela said your hair's growing fast.
It's growing so fast that today my daughter was on the face chat thing with me, and she goes, "Mom, you have a mullet," because of all this.
Which daughter said that?
Maxine.
Really?
Because it was sticking out this morning after I took a shower, like really sticking out, and she goes, "Mom, you have a mullet." She just randomly blurbs it out. I told her I can't cut it until the hair from right here is at least to the bottom of my ears or at my chin, so that I can cut it all the way around. So that means back here is going to be a mullet for a while.
And Kathleen likes your hair color too, or your nail color too.
Yeah, it's called Midnight Kiss. It's a really pretty blue. I usually don't go for blues. I'm usually purple or red nails. Anywhere in the purple family and anywhere in the red family. Those are usually the colors I go for, but I felt like blue.
It's so light. How would it be midnight? Yeah, it's like a sky blue.
Yeah.
That's weird. Oh
Every
well.
once in a while, I just gotta go bold. Something different.
Any quilting questions? So we're talking about tattoos and then nails and hair.
I have tattoos. I want more tattoos.
Yes, I know. We already talked about that, honey. We already had the tattoo conversation earlier. You're being goofy.
I don't think I'd ever, though, get a quilting related tattoo.
You don't want a sewing machine on your back or something?
No.
You're jukey?
No. I don't think I wanted to take over my life that much. That would just be overkill. I did 2 small quilts with this bobbin earlier. I'm surprised it's still going.
Hi, Elaine. Elaine says hi. It's her first time catching you live.
Ooh, awesome. Welcome. Welcome everybody that's here. Oh, this thing is so heavy. There's going to be an arm and a leg to ship this thing.
Kathleen wants to know what kind of tattoo you're thinking of getting.
I want a peacock on my back to cover my ugly back skull and tribal tattoo. I want a nice big huge peacock with the feathers coming down around to the side of me and like wrapping around my belly, but obviously that's like a couple $1,000 worth of idea that'll never get done. But if I was to get another tattoo, that's what it'd be. But technically Maxine and I are going to go for tattoos one of these days in the next like couple years. I have matching ones with Lexa, so next is Maxine. She wants something small, so I really don't have to worry about where to put it because something small will fit anywhere.
Kim says at least you're not talking about food. Yep. Always making me hungry, Kim. Mary wants another tattoo, but their tattoo shops aren't open during school hours. Really? Our tattoo shops are open here all the time.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, she says those are only 3 hours.
Interesting.
Oh wow, Elaine's in Scotland. She says it's 1:45 there. Guess that's why she never catches us live.
1:45 in the morning?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
She can't sleep, but this is way more fun, she says.
Well, I'm glad that I could be of entertainment while you're trying to get tired.
Kathleen says she didn't think it'd be overkill, so it's your life. You live it and love it, so go for it. Talking about getting tattooed, selling stuff.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I would just because my tattoos are like all, except for the stupid skull thing on my back, they all have like a meaning, and I don't know if they all like are girly, and I don't know if a sewing machine is only girly. You can make it girly, but it's like a man is what a sewing machine, and I don't want like a man on my body.
What are you talking about?
The sewing machine, it's like a dude. This is what a sewing machine does not look feminine. It looks like a man. I added stickers to make it look feminine. But a sewing machine reminds me of men.
Really?
Yes, a sewing machine is like a dude.
I think the exact opposite.
Really?
I only
You
think
think
of
it's a
women when I
female?
see sewing machines.
Well, I see mechanics and machinery as men. This is mechanics and machinery. Technically, it's dude-like.
Hi, Lizette.
I know I think weird. Sorry, guys.
Lizette says her husband spoiled her with a juki this weekend.
Yay! Awesome sauce. That's cool.
Rowena loves the backing.
So do I. I wish I could get some more of this fabric. I used like 90% of the bolt. Alright, so I'm going to stop about a little bit further.
Kathleen says you should get an old school machine with scroll work on it.
Eh. How much further? A little bit more.
Good night, Suburban.
Oh, good night. Alright, about right there? Sure, right on. Alright, here's the part that everybody gets confused on. I'm gonna like just cut a little bit off. So I had quite a bit left on my wheel. My wheel of binding. That can go there. And This is the part that everyone struggles with here, man. I'm telling you.
Look at that sucker. It's big.
All right, so my quilt's kind of fluffy, so it's going to be a little bit more work to get this to be super flat. I'm going to make this a straight seam before I start because it is not very straight. All right, so I'm going to lay it down as flat as possible.
Quote loves the binding wheel. She says I have one and love it.
And I'm going to lay my 2.5 inch ruler on here. Like that. I'm kind of just going to like, because I don't want any puckering or fullness. So I'm going to hold it nice and tight. I'm going to bring this other end over. I'm also going to get rid of any fullness. So my ruler is at the edge of the bottom, which was my start. I'm going to just do that one more time. So my ruler is holding that side down. Stay nice and flat as if I was sewing it on. Now it's right at the edge. I'm just going to hold it right there because it's 2.5 inches. I'm going to lay this one on top of it. Hold it nicely. Slide my scissors under the piece that I laid on top. And snip. And then I kind of have to straighten this up a little bit, but I only am taking like not even 1/8 of an inch off. Some people cut off a 2.5 inch piece of this, and then they lay this out like this, and then they lay this piece over, you know, and use this 2.5 inch to find where they need to cut. I don't need to do that because I just use the ruler. Now to join them, come here, Scotty, with the camera so everybody can see. We're gonna re-go over this for the millionth time.
Mazillions. I like that word.
Yep. All right. So let me get this quilt close so that Scott can come over here nicely. All right.
Hi, Vicky.
So here was my start. Okay. Here was my end. I'm going to take my end. I'm just going to open it up like this and lay it down. Then I'm going to take my start. So that's the way it comes. I'm going to open it up. If I can get my fingers in between it. So I'm going to open it up as if I'm just opening it like this. And we're going to lay that right on top of the other one. So I didn't really go very far. So again, open and lay. So if you were to close it, it's laying like that. Open it and lay it down. Then this other one, just open it. Again, they're touching itself. And then lay it down, just like that. In an L.
Marla says, oh, this is the quilt you picked?
Over. Then I'm going to sew from this corner up here, from top where I ended, down to the bottom where I started. So I'm just going to hold it nice and tight. You can pin it if you want, but I left plenty of room for myself this time.
My love.
What?
This is the quilt you picked?
Picked what?
Right? We picked.
Oh, yes. This is the quilt
Yes.
that I picked, yes. That it's
Yes.
had 2 different quilting designs put on it.
Yes, they've seen us
Yes.
quilt, pick, and quilt some more on this one.
Yep. I know it. Well, you guys know because you saw it in the video. Alright, so I'm just going to sew all the way. If you see under here, here's my end. I'm just lining that up with the line on my machine. So if you have like tape or something, or a line like I do, that has never gone away since I drew it on there. Sew from the corner to the corner. And before I cut anything, I open it up and go, oh look, it lays perfectly flat. And then when I realize it does, I just go in and take that extra away. A 1/4 inch seam is all I'm going to leave behind me for now. And then I always, before I do anything, I finger press it really nicely. And I've got like threads just everywhere today. So I just finger press it. And then everything should line right up. I'll put my seam guide back, because if I don't, I'm going to mess up. Put it under the machine, back stitch, change my stitch length again. Line everything up. And stitch. And it should be perfectly flat, just like that. And then I stitch about 1 inch into where I started, back stitch, and that's it. That's how it's done, just like that. I'm gonna have so many threads to pick off of this thing. Is like thread happiness crazy. It's because my stitches all the way around, my basting stitches, came undone. So now, turn the whole entire quilt around. Oh my goodness. There we go. Whew! There's a lot of work in this quilt. Now I'm just going to pick a spot and start going because... Oh, I'm going to move my seam thing because I don't need that for this part. I'm also going to change my stitch length on my Juki to a 3. And that is because I think it looks cleaner since I machine stitch.
That's awesome, Jenny.
I back stitch and then I just sew almost 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So I guess Scotty could come watch at least one corner. Bless you.
Hold on, I got another one.
Bless
All those
you.
threads and dust. Whee!
Yeah, this room is getting super dusty. Alright, so all I do is just fold it over and I sew along the edge. I hold the edge as I sew too. So I sew up to my finger. I just rub my finger along it, tucking in any like loose threads. And I stay along that edge so that way it's just edge stitched all the way around. And look at this. A bug.
It
Crawling around
happens.
on my machine.
It happens.
I gotta wipe bug juice off my finger.
You want to go wash your finger? You can. I'll show them the quilt.
Oh, it's fine. Let's sew this down real quick so I can get to the corner.
Do you have Minky on this quilt?
No.
Teresa asks.
Nope.
And Teresa, this is a for sale quilt, so it's whoever buys it.
It has polyester batting in it, so it's like my made-up word that I call a quilumpeter.
Yep.
Quilumpeter. That is a quilt and backing to make a quilt comforter style. So it's nice and fluffy and puffy.
Quilumpeter. I love it.
Quilumpeter.
Oh, yeah, Marla just asked what kind of batting it has because it looks puffy.
Yeah, this one has polyester in it. So this is definitely great for someone who lives in cold areas. Of course, it's also great for someone who just likes the look of a comforter on their bed, but also loves the look of a quilt on their bed. You know what I mean? And this one's perfect because you can match any sheets up with it. You can have white sheets, you could have gray sheets, you could have black sheets, and this one doesn't need anything to go because it has everything will match it.
What brand of polyester batting do you use?
This one's from Marshall Dry Goods. I don't know, the brand is Marshall Dry Goods. It was affordable, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, batting's expensive these days.
Alright, so I'm here at the corner. See how it's up?
What weight is it?
This is 6 ounce.
Okay.
So I'm going to push down on it, creating this little like crease, and shove all the thread that kind of wants to stick out. And I'm going to fold that crease up onto itself in the corner, and the corners are touching. So I'm literally just going to hold this, come right up to it, and take 1 stitch into it, 1 stitch back, 1 stitch into it. So I know it's kind of hard to see this.
How many inches is the polyester batting?
What do you mean, how many inches?
I don't know, probably the width.
Oh, this is 90. No. This is 122. No, so that means this is the 8 ounce then, because it's the 122.
Okay. And this is 8 ounce podunk, and it's the 122, Linda.
The only problem is it's inexpensive to buy, but shipping is $40 per roll from Marshall Dry Goods. We were just talking about this last night on Quilts, so yeah. All right, so I'm going to come up. I take 1 stitch into that corner, 1 stitch out, and 1 stitch back in. Turn the whole thing, just like that.
Is this where T gets batting too from Marshall?
Yeah, she buys the 80-20 like we used to.
Teresa says, very pretty quilting.
Alright, so all I'm going to do is just come down, and let me get a little bit further so you can see that corner, how I do it. And I could have chose black or something to highlight, but I just went with this gray because I had it and I don't have any black. So unfortunately I'm out of all sorts of colors and I wanted this bound. So, and it looks good to me. I don't care what anyone says because of the grays. It's a blend between black and gray. And we're out of, well, here's the corner while I change my bobbin. So can I see how I came in like that?
Yes, honey.
Okay. This is the same color gray, right? No, it's not. What?
Oh, really? I mean, you have to roll a bobbin?
It looks the same, but
Okay.
it doesn't look the same.
Well,
It's whiter.
I'm putting this down so I roll my nose.
Oh well, I'm gonna use it again.
You do that. You guys can see the whole quilt now. Put this down for a second.
Ugh. While I'm here, I'm gonna clean out. You see that? Disgusting. Clean that out. Because it was grabbable. I'm gonna snip where it ended. Line it up. And start over. Let's see. It looks the same. Huh. Okay.
So is your gray thread the same?
Looks the same. Yeah, I can't tell.
Krista says that's so big, Tiff.
Yes, it is.
We'll do a final measurement then at the end when we hold it up for you guys.
It was like 98 by 1011. 1011. It was big, but I used the puffy batting, so it shrunk. It probably shrunk a little bit more since I had to spray it and steam it while it was on frame from picking out stitches.
Yeah, they saw that if they watched that video anyway. Because we did that on video so they could see how to do that. She said it looks bigger bunched up on the table.
Yeah, and it's heavy. I'll tell you that much. This is a heavy quilt. We really have to keep adjusting. I think this is going to take me longer than I thought.
Do you need to take a break?
Huh?
Do you need to take a break?
No. So is it summer everywhere for everyone yet? Or is it still spring? It's summer here now.
Yeah. Definitely. Hi, Sue Ann.
Hello, hello, hello.
Sue Ann says it's spring in Idaho.
Spring in Idaho.
Yeah, Donna says it's spring in Virginia. Hi, Jen Lee. She says it's spring in North Texas.
Hmm?
Kathleen says it's spring. Spring has sprung. Oh, spring never sprung here, she said. Yesterday was slightly cooler. That was nice. They're in a serious drought. We're in a drought all year round here. It doesn't rain here.
We didn't get no rain in 2020.
Yeah.
And then 2021 hit. We got a bunch of rain all of a sudden, and then nothing since. Every time there's been a cloudy sky, no rain. Just clouds. Seems like I'm going forever because this thing is so big.
Well, you've only been on an hour.
Ugh. I've only been sweating my butt off for an hour.
Yes.
I guess
Sorry.
I need more of a workout.
Sorry, my love.
People don't realize how much strength goes into this. This requires so much effort.
I don't know what to tell you.
And I feel, those of you who hand bind, boy, I wouldn't want to do it on a king size. No way. I'm also snipping threads as I go, so that's also what's slowing me up.
Good night, Paula.
Good night to those who are leaving.
For some folks, it's late.
Hmm?
For some folks, it's late.
Yep.
Ginny says, loving the chin hold. I was going to comment on that, too.
Yeah.
She holds it under the chin.
It's the only way I can get it to stay, but yet have control over it.
Yes, Sue Ann, the quilt is gray, white, and black. It's the one we picked out, the one quilt design and quilted a different design in it.
Yep, I quilted wood grain on it, and the tension was horrible. And so we picked it out, and now it has a flower. And I actually like the flower over the wood grain, though, you know, now, so.
Linda says, I only like to make big quilts.
Yep, same here.
Sue Ann says, beautiful. What pattern is on it now?
It's a shamrock flowers spin flower.
Here, I'll take you in for a close-up. Since this is a for sale quilt, we'll show it all. We'll show it off.
So it like looks like a flower, it looks like a shamrock, but it looks like a spin all at the same time.
That one's kind of easier to see. In the whites, it's not quite as easy on the camera.
And then it has leaves in also. And loop-de-loops.
Doesn't show up quite as well on the camera as it does in person. Well, I guess nothing does.
No.
So Ann says lovely. Joyce says very pretty.
We technically don't have the right kind of cameras anyway, so.
No, we're using quite an old tablet because Tiff's phone doesn't like the internet anymore, so.
Yeah, my phone doesn't work with YouTube anymore. It's kind of annoying.
Angela says it's beautiful. Jenny says, I wish I had your work table. LOL.
Yeah, it's a desk. It was an office desk that we got off of Facebook Marketplace.
A very large office desk had to be taken apart to be brought here and then put back together once it was in here.
Yep. It's 36 inches wide by 72 inches long. It's a pretty big desk. And the cool part is I have room under this side for me and junk, and there's 2 drawers on this side, but the other side also has the indentation, so you could sew on the other side as well. No drawers on the other side, but I have my little roll around drawer units, the little dresser things, on that side. Well, one for now, because the other one's to the side, since I've been sewing on that side for a while now. Been utilizing both sides of the table.
Marla says, you always do an amazing job. And Sue-Ann asked, how have you been feeling?
I've been good.
And Marla asked if you had any test results yet.
Oh, yeah, hey, so that, my stomach is not, there. My intestines are not knotted. Not knotted. I don't have no knots, so that's a plus. The pain is just the scar tissue in my belly and my food problem that I have with eating anyway. It's just my body trying to digest. That's the pain. And then the feeling of my I have gastroparesis, so my stomach is paralyzed and I take medicine to help it like push through. So it's just the pain from that, and it's just radiating through my abdominal area. So I don't need surgery. Yay! I don't need to be, fixed again.
Hi, B.
So I'm still good.
B says she missed the past couple of weeks. She's going to have to catch up. She's been dealing with health issues.
Aw, well,
But she's back
the
to sewing
videos
again.
are always here.
And she wants to know what you're making today.
I'm just putting the binding on a quilt that's been sitting over there, folded up on the chair, waiting for binding.
This quilt we had in a few different videos, B. She quilted one design on, and then we picked it out, so we showed everybody how to pick out, and then she quilted another design. So it's been in videos.
And then
Here and there, if you
I
watch
also
some of the
have a
older
video
videos.
of making it, but I'm not sure how long ago it is, and I did not call it quatrefoil. I don't know if I did or not, honestly. And if I did, it would have been like 2.5, 3 years ago. Sorry if I'm not very talky. I'm trying to like concentrate. Remember, I don't sew a good straight line without a guide, but I don't use a guide when I do binding. Well, at least on when I fold it to the front, I use my eyeballs to try to watch that edge of the binding when it folds over so that I can sew along it. So it's like I really, really, really have to focus to keep up my brain from veering away. Plus, the faster I sew it, the less my eyeballs jiggle with the needle.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So as long as I'm like...
We don't want eyeball jiggle.
Speeding through it. It's not like they jiggle, it's just like my autofocus is off.
I know.
In my
I
eyeballs.
was just trying to lighten the mood.
So it's working better if I just go fast and get it done. But it's never a straight line, I can tell you that much.
Hi, Jane. Jane says, I think I will try binding by machine. It would be so much faster.
Oh yeah, way faster. I don't even do by hand, so I couldn't even time the difference, but I'm assuming 100% that it's faster.
Oh, don't just ask that. Do you ever sew binding by hand?
Nope.
That's a big NO.
Nope. Hell, I haven't even touched my hand sewing quilt project since, what, February?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's covered in dust. That's how long it's been since I've touched that fabric. And I only have like 11 blocks to make. And
Hi,
then
Diane.
I'll start sewing the blocks together.
Diane's on.
That's how much I hate hand sewing. Hi, Diane.
And plus, you have 8 million other projects going at once.
Yep.
All of a sudden, you got what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quilts that need quilted, sent to you, and brought over for people in
Yep.
town.
Oh, look, I'm on the last side. Woohoo!
You still have to finish the Dresden and all that. You got a lot going on.
Yes, I'm very busy lately. That's why I haven't been doing many live streams. Plus, it's hard to live stream from the living room on this tablet because even with the lights, the room is so big, it's still kind of dark and you can't see me quilting because it's on you can't put a tablet on a long arm. So I've just been making more videos than doing live stream. And then I can't make too much of a video anymore. If you guys haven't noticed, they're shrinking in size because my phone now, not only is it not working on YouTube, but my 10,000 hour available card for video is full. Yet there's nothing on it. We emptied it off onto the computer and it's still full. I have no room to save videos. So, yeah, it's been a little frustrating to say the least. So I'm either cutting the videos down a lot or I'm putting them all in fast forward. Because there's no room to save videos onto my phone anymore.
Okay, Chris is going to post a picture of the quilt she's doing so far on your page. She just laid it out. Well, she's not happy with it. It's a rainbow quilt. She doesn't like the colors.
Really?
She was talking about it a lot earlier.
Yeah.
So she's going to post a picture, so you'll have to let her know. Oh, Marla wants to send her Dresden to you to quilt.
Okay.
She
I
says
don't mind
if it
doing that
comes
for you
out-
guys too.
Okay, because I don't want to be embarrassed.
Oh, no. I gave you guys all those Dresden ideas for a reason. The reason for you to either do it yourself or send it to me and I'll do it.
Well, no, she's embarrassed of her making it, is what she's saying.
Oh, don't be embarrassed.
That sounds awesome, Jenny. Jenny made a steam table.
A steam table?
She found an iron base from an old treadle machine, so she cut a piece of plywood for the top and covered it with cotton batting and quilted fabric. She says, I love it. Same thing we did.
Same thing we did, yeah.
Yeah, we have videos on how to make our
So she did hers from the
iron.
table. Kind of like I wanted to do with the changing table.
Yeah.
But that would have been smaller, so I'm kind of glad I did what I did. All right, I'm coming up on the end now.
Yep.
Right to the beginning where I started. I'm just holding it nice and flat.
Our giant ironing board. It's a big beast.
Crossing over. And I literally need to go around the whole entire quilt now and pluck stitches because there are a bazillion of them all the way around. Not stitches,
Threads?
Threads. Because they tend to be everywhere. But I'll do that later because you can see, like, here's my basting stitches right here. Can you guys see that? See right here? See these stitches sticking out?
Yeah.
These are my basting stitches. So before I sell quilts, I always go through and I unstitch the basting stitches. The only reason why I left them in to bind this quilt is because I didn't want, it's so thick that I didn't want it coming apart along the edges. So I went and just left the basting stitches in. So I go through after every single quilt and I try to pull as much of this as possible that's visible. And I always tell everyone, do not pull a thread, find the source and snip it, because if you pull on it, you never know what you're actually pulling on. So I pull all these out. And most of their big stitches, they're 1/2 inch or more. So they just come right out like this with scissors or however. But I go through and fix everything up.
Heather asked, the card in your phone you're talking about, is it an SD card for storage?
Yep. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's not holding anything. And I tried to format and everything and still is giving me issues. So I think it's just the phone because it doesn't like being on YouTube either. It doesn't like bandwidth, you know. So struggling with all sorts of issues with all that. Anyway, I'll finish the rest of this later. For now, let's hold the quilt up. CJ, can we borrow you, please?
No, let me put this back.
I guess I'll pick these out of here until she comes in here.
Showing the beast laying on his stolen bag. Darlene asked, what brand is your phone?
It's a LG Stylo 4. I'm just going to get a new one when I can afford it. So I think it's just the phone having issues. But that's okay. I'm going to be doing a fundraiser soon towards the phone. I'm not going to get into all that right now because it's future and it's not fully planned. So anyway. The boy may have headphones on.
Or he's just ignoring you like always.
Holding up the quilt. Alright. As soon as the kid comes in here, for now, we'll measure it.
Oh, you want me to do that?
No,
Tape measure.
Tape measure
You're gonna need a tape measure. It's longer than this. Here. Hold it in. Let go. You hold one and I'll hold the other. Calm down. We do this all the time.
55 and 55 is
110.
okay. So it's 110 by.
So it shrank 1 inch because it was 111.
By. Just-
47 and a half by 47 and a half is 95.
So it's 95 by 110, and it was 96 probably by 111. So it shrunk 1 inch all the way around. Here, CJ. Here you. This one's super huge, so I'll just lay it on the floor.
Yes, it's big.
Give me 2 seconds, guys, because it's gonna be.
So is that king size still, or is that just a large queen?
It's a large queen. It'll fit on a king though if you turn it. Alright, 2 seconds. 2 seconds, guys. I can't get the whole thing in view, as you guys know.
No, that camera's very zoomed in. That one on the tablet? Yes. No, it's very zoomed in. Never zoomed out.
As mom first got it, it was really super outwards.
I can't zoom it out anymore.
It's just how you could. Oh, that's the camera.
So you can see it's so big. I'm still going. Still going. There we go.
Brenda says it's beautiful.
So it's so
Paul
big.
says love that quilt.
And you can see the quilting quite wonderfully.
They're all saying love it.
So you can see it's like a 3-leaf clover with a flower with a flowery swirligig around it.
Swirly gig, I like it.
I don't have a name for it. And then there's leaves everywhere. And then the binding is the gray, which obviously it doesn't look bad because there's different grays in the quilt itself with the black, and the binding has like a blackish gray look to it in the first place. And then I'm not sure, give me 2 seconds to find the tag. Here's the tag right there. So you can see it says Quatrefoil by Tiffany Groff. LHC is for Lake Havasu City, Arizona 2021. And you can see the quilting on the back. And you can see the puff. It's very puffy. I have to de-thread it, but that's about it.
They're all saying gorgeous and love it and
Yeah. So it's a monotone.
sweet tiff and just beautiful.
Monotone
It's
quilt.
fantastic.
All right, you guys can put it down.
Okay, good.
It's very hard to do these big, huge quilts in this room because this room is not that big. You know? Alright, you can plug that in.
Yes, I will do all that. Darlene says binding is fine. She asks if it's king size.
Yeah, 90, what did I say, 95, 110?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's 95 by 110. And when I get a chance, what I do is I just lay it up here, and I start by only around the binding, and I just go through the front, and then I turn around to the back, and I pull any loose stitches, and then the rest of the thread, I just shake it off. Because most of it just is loose threads, which is all over me, you know? So I just go around it and pull any.
How much is it?
I don't know yet.
Oh.
I was kind of thinking in the $600 range plus shipping. I wasn't 100% sure because I hadn't thought about that yet. Because I have 2 quilts that need to be photographed and listed on Etsy. So
I thought this was 3. Is it still just 2?
what?
This one in the fabric train, and isn't there another one?
There's 3 quilts
Yeah,
that need
3
to be
quilts
photographed
that need to be photographed.
and listed.
Yes, we got plenty of lint rollers, Darlene.
Yes, I have my buried somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's buried.
Do you want one? I can get you one.
No, I don't need it.
Okay.
I'm just doing this. So yeah, that's that. It's done. It's bound finally. I did bind my mine and my friend's Dresden's, the black, white, and gray. Do you guys want to see what they look like with binding on them? They're behind you, Scotty.
Yeah, are you still doing that, or do you want me to hand
No,
it
you
to
can hand them to me.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know.
Just the black, white, and gray ones.
Oh, we don't need the reds?
No, because I showed them already, but with binding on them.
Maybe they want to see them again.
So here's my personal one, and it has, I put the hooks on it. There's 4, but they fold back if you don't want to use the hooks. If you want to just lay it, that kind of thing. But they are hooked up so that you can run like a pole through it, like a hanging rod. So if you want to hang it on a wall with like a curtain rod, it runs through it. So this is what it looks like with the binding on it. So I did the same gray as the background for the binding. I didn't want to use white because if it, say, is hung on a white wall, it's washed out. And or black because I didn't want to have too dark of a color because I want you to still look at the Dresden. You know what I mean? So this one was mine. And then this one is my best friend's. Again, hooks on his. This one will be traveling around the country. Every state except for Maine and Hawaii and Alaska. It goes. It's going to go.
Truck?
Yeah, he's hanging it in a semi truck.
Okay.
So it's going to go around the country. So those are almost exactly the same except for the quilting. And then for those that want to see again, here's my red set of them. So there's one. Here's number 2. And these are all quilted different. There are videos here on YouTube, 1 through 6, because there's 6 of these all together, of quilting these. So 1 through 6 of the Dresden quilting ideas to go with your guys' Dresdens that everybody is sewing along with.
They're all saying love the red.
Yeah.
Lane, B, Diane,
Yeah, these red
Zella,
ones came
they're all
out
saying
awesome.
love the red.
And then that's the last one. So I really had fun making all these and videos for you guys. I didn't bind them because, again, you guys see me do binding how many times? Oh wait, again today. So these 2 I bound today, and then obviously what you just watched me bind. So I did a lot of binding already today. But I'm actually caught up on all the binding, on anything that needed binding, except for my current client quilt that's on the frame because I'm binding that too. So I'm actually caught up. On all, at least my stuff. So,
Does anyone want to see the quatrefoil, the one that's for sale?
I'm just gonna lay this here so you guys could just see. It's so enormous. I wish my bedroom didn't have like a disaster going on, or else I'd go lay this on my bed so you'd get a better idea of what it looks like on a queen size bed. Anyway, it is time to get off of here. I am now exhausted, sweaty. Oh, exhausted and sweaty.
Anyone have any questions before we go? You
Funny
okay?
bone.
You okay?
Funny bone. Yep, I'm fine. Oh, funny bone.
Any questions? Anyone? Going once? Going twice?
All right, friends. Let me take a drink of water. Okay. So, this week, I'm going to remind for those that joined late, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I probably will not be seen on any live streams because I have family from out of town coming because my daughter high school graduation is on Thursday. I'm going to try to do one. Just keep an eye on my videos. Make sure you have subscribed and rang the bell and chose all notifications because I post now just as much as I do live stream anymore these days.
Yeah, you've been making a lot of just plain videos that you put on.
What was I gonna say? Brain fart. Come back to me.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of fridge. Fridge everywhere.
So Thursday is my daughter's graduation, and I will be attending that. And then Friday she's having a graduation party. So one of those days, just look for a video. Hopefully it'll be live stream and not recorded. It should be fun. And then I got to get to the Dresden thing. I got to finish what's on the frame. That is going to also be a video. I've been recording it this whole time. You guys so far saw how I did the border with the double bump feather. And then how I did the swirls with it. Well, I brought that into the center of the quilting, but a little bit different. So just look forward to that video. It'll be slow at first, and then I'll put the rest in fast forward. But I'm slowly working on that because it's hurting my wrists. It's a lot of fancy extra quilting that normally I wouldn't do. So because it's a custom job, like show quilt job. So yeah, that's it. So that video should be in a couple days. I'm hoping to be done by Wednesday before people get here. Other than that, I don't have anything else planned except for getting that other Dresden wall hanging part, which was the secondary project from all the fat quarters that we purchased. I need to get that done, but you guys know I'm not on a schedule, and I tend not to have schedules for a reason. I would probably go insane. So just look for me starting that sometime next week. Until then, thank you guys all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share with your quilty friends, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye!
Bye.